5 travel tips from a runner that spends half his life living in hotels. Hi guys, it's Dan here. Welcome back to Strides and Summits. If you're new here, this is a running channel where I bring on running adventures, show you treadmill scenery, and provide tips and tricks videos just like this one. So if you're a runner, or if you're just an enthusiast, make sure to subscribe to get all of my content. So maybe you can tell, but this is not usually where I do my videos from. I'm in a Residence Inn in bright, sunny, sometimes rainy, but always hot Miami, Florida. I'm down here on a business trip, and I figured now was a good time for me to give you a couple of travel tips. So I know right now might not seem like the best time to talk about travel, but I wanted to do this video for a couple of reasons. The first being, this information is going to be relevant whether it's now or in a year or 5 years. Hello, future. So if you're watching this later on, I hope you still find it useful. The second thing is that I'm reasonably well versed in this. In 2019, I was away from home about 200 nights, and I was running on average about 80K throughout the year. So I'm reasonably well experienced in running while I'm on the road. And I want to share these tips with you while I'm still experienced in that, because in the next year or so, I'm probably not going to be traveling as much, and maybe I'm going to forget some of the things I'm going to share with you. So with that being said, let's get started. Travel tip number 1, travel with running gear in your carry-on. I've lost count of the number of times that I've gone for a run on a layover. I'm finding more and more airports are getting gyms, and if you got 3 or 4 hours, that's enough time to go for a run. I find it's a really good way to pass the time, and it also helps you get over some of the jet lag. If you've got 6 or more hours, that can be enough time to actually get out of the airport, get downtown, and go for a real run. So look into your options for that as well. Even if you don't have a long layover planned, I do suggest traveling with running gear. Flights get delayed, changes happen, there's really no guarantee that you're going to end up in the location that you expected, and there's no guarantee for how long you might get stuck somewhere. Last time I went through Toronto, I missed my flight because of a weather delay. I had to get rescheduled for the next day. They put me up in a hotel, but I forgot to bring my running gear. And I just remember being extremely frustrated that I had all this time, but I didn't have my running gear and any ability to go running. So, would I recommend travel in a pair of running shoes and throw a shirt and pair of shorts in the bottom of your carry-on bag? It takes up almost no room, it weighs nothing, and it's good insurance if you ever do get stuck somewhere. Travel tip number 2, explore your new neighborhood. You're only in this location for a temporary amount of time, and I see every run as an opportunity to find out a little bit more about it. I've often said that running is the best way to explore a new place. It's the right sort of pace, and you can just stop and check something out with a closer look if you want to. Even if you're staying in a place that might seem kind of boring, you never really know what you're going to come across. You might see some really interesting houses or a neat park, or you might come across a restaurant that's really great and you end up going back to for dinner. So when I'm on the road, I try and avoid the treadmill as much as possible. Now, obviously use judgment, use discretion, don't go running anywhere you wouldn't feel safe. I'd recommend talking to the front desk of the hotel, look on Strava heat map to see where other people are running. But that being said, I've been running in some places that you wouldn't really expect runners to be running. Places like Hyderabad, India and Chongqing, China. I had some very enlightening runs in these places. I saw how people live their daily lives, and it was really interesting and really gave me an appreciation for these locations. Tip number 3, go running in the morning. Now, for me, running in the morning is a personal preference, but I also think it's a better idea when you're traveling. Here's why. You never really know what's going to happen with your day. Maybe unexpected work comes up at the work site and you have to stay late to get it done. Maybe the customer wants to take you out for dinner and it would be rude to say no. Dinner turns into drinks. Next thing you know, it's 11 o'clock and you haven't gotten your run in. Conversely, nobody's going to try and take your morning away from you. Very rarely have I heard, "Oh, let's go over that report before breakfast." Running in the morning allows you to establish your routine, get your run in, get your training in before anything else happens in the day. Nobody's going to be able to take that away from you. Travel tip number 4, keep your nutrition in check. This has got to be one of the hardest ones, but you got to remember that you're on a business trip and you're not on a vacation. unless of course you're on a vacation, in which case you can do what you want. Now I know it's exciting to be in a new place, you want to try all the new things, but you got to keep your routine in check. Now when I get to my destination, I'll go to the hotel, I'll check in, see what the situation there is in terms of cooking ability. Do they have a fridge? Do they have a toaster, coffee maker? What's the sort of situation? And then one of the first things I do is I go to a grocery store. Now, I love doing this anyways in a new country. It's a really interesting snapshot of a culture and how people live in this new place. But it also enables me to pick out some ingredients and live a little bit more normally like I do at home. I'm lucky in the situation I'm in right here. It's almost like a mini apartment. I've got a full-size fridge, a stovetop, toaster, a kitchen sink. I can make almost anything I want here, and I've done pasta and eggs and stir fries. I've done almost all of my own cooking while I've been down here in Miami. But even if you don't have a stovetop and a full kitchen, you can still do quite a bit of stuff with just a fridge. You know, think about making sandwiches or making salads. You know, those don't require any cooking at all. You know, even if you don't have a fridge, you know, just having peanut butter and bananas and some fruit and vegetables we even keep for a little while, you know, that's going to be loads healthier than eating out of restaurants every day. You know, even if you're just getting one meal a day that you're kind of cooking for yourself, I find that helps a lot in terms of maintaining my balance, maintaining my nutrition, and maintaining my training cycle when I'm on the road. And maybe you're staying at one of those hotels that has a big lavish breakfast buffet. Maybe they don't have what you're looking for. For me, it was always plain oatmeal with a bit of nuts on it. Go talk to the cooks, talk to the people behind the counter there, introduce yourself, be friendly with them, and ask them. Often they'll be thrilled to make you whatever you're looking for. What you'll often find is after a couple days, they get to know you and they might have your food ready before you even arrive. And it's just one more step that you can take towards remaining healthy or remaining as normal as possible while you're on the road. And tip number 5, adjust your expectations in terms of running. You're in a new location, you're sleeping in a new bed, you're eating different food. There's probably different weather, it might be in a different altitude. You're running on different routes than you're used to. Not only that, but if you're used to running with a group, you no longer have that group support. And you're probably still jet lagged. So it's no wonder that your performance is not going to be what you expect. It's not unreasonable for your pace to drop by 5, 10, 15 seconds per kilometer when you're doing workouts. Or maybe you got to drop 1 or 2 sets from the full workout. That's fine. That's to be expected. The way I see it is when you're traveling, it's temporary. Except for my case where it's kind of permanent. And so my goals when I'm traveling is to just maintain fitness or slow the decay of my fitness as much as possible. It's to put things on pause so that when I get back home, I can pick up right where I left off. I'm not seeking to break world records. I'm not seeking to make PBs when I'm on the road. I'm just looking to maintain my fitness. And there you have it, my 5 travel tips for runners that are on the road. Do you travel a lot? Do you have any more tips? Let us know in the comments section below. If you enjoyed that and if you found it useful, make sure to give it a like. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Until next time, keep putting one foot in front of the other.